Greetings and welcome to our latest webinar with the School of Engineering, Technology, and Applied Science at Centennial College. Our session will include presentations from the Dean, program coordinators, and a current international student studying in SETAS. I'm your host, Craig Long, Recruitment Manager, International Digital Engagement. We also have reps here from our international admissions and recruitment teams available to help answer your questions using the Q&A and the chat. We look forward to hearing from you. Centennial's driving purpose is to help every student get ready. At Centennial, you'll develop the technical skills to break into your field and gain the life skills you need to seize every opportunity that comes your way. Today's webinar will focus on two specialized graduate certificate programs that will help you get ready to innovate. They are Internet of Things, System Architecture and Integration, and Mobile Applications Development. We'd like to start with a land acknowledgement. Centennial College is proud to be part of a rich history of education in the province of Ontario and the city of Toronto. We acknowledge that we are on the treaty lands and territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation and pay tribute to their legacy and the legacy of all First Peoples of Canada. On behalf of the Centennial College community, I would like to welcome you to get to know us better. Centennial College is Ontario's first college of applied arts and technology. In 57 years, Centennial has gone from a local community college to a globally recognized institution. Centennial is one of Canada's top destinations for international students in Canada. We are recognized as one of the most culturally diverse post-secondary institutions in Canada. Centennial's 5 campuses are strategically located across the Greater Toronto Area. Toronto is the largest city in Canada with a strong job market. Before you hear from the academic school, we will take a moment to set the stage by introducing the economic context in Canada and globally. Skills gaps are all over the news. There is a skills gap in Canada, the Americas, and globally. The graph shows the urgent need for skilled workers worldwide. You could see talent shortages are at a 15-year high. Centennial offers specialized academic programs that are designed to meet the needs of industry. We are proud to produce graduates who are highly skilled and ready to succeed in jobs across Canada and globally. There are 1 million job vacancies in Canada, and Canada is experiencing an all-time high for the number of job vacancies. There are 5.7% vacancies in the majority of sectors. The aging population is one factor driving the high job vacancies in Canada. Technological innovation is another factor driving the need to upskill, reskill, and recruit new members to join Canada's workforce. There are job vacancies across Canada, but the majority were recorded in the 6 Canadian provinces listed below. The largest share of job vacancies is in Ontario. According to this 2021 report, the top 5 in-demand job roles include manufacturing, production, and IT and data. The School of Engineering, Technology, and Applied Science offers programs in these areas, producing Centennial graduates who are ready to work in these industries. Now, I am pleased to introduce Dr. Patrick Kelly, Dean of SETAS.
Thank you very much, Greg, and welcome everyone. Thank you so much for attending this information session webinar where you're going to learn about a couple of our program offerings specifically. I just want to take a few minutes just to kind of give an overview of the School of Engineering, Technology, and Applied Science, which is affectionately known as SETAS, comprised of 4 departments: Advanced Manufacturing and Automation Technology, Applied Biological and Environmental Science, information, communication, engineering technology, and sustainable design and renewable energy. So the school has, well, basically the most recent data for the winter term, we came in at 7,566 students for our winter 2023 term. And the school offers a full range of programs, time and part-time, apprenticeship, 2-year diploma, 3-year advanced diploma with co-op. We have grad certificates, and you're going to hear about that from my colleagues a little more in the presentation. And we also have a degree offering in networking. So the vast majority of the programs culminate in a capstone project where students work in teams to solve issues faced by industry. And the best of our capstones appear every year at our annual technology fair, which you're going to see a slide a few minutes. And then central to all of our programs is a course in global citizenship and equity. And we also have service learning activities which are available, which really underscores the importance of social responsibility and ensuring that we're producing well-rounded graduates. So our employers are telling us technical skills are a given. What they're looking for are well-rounded graduates, communication skills, leadership, teamwork, project management, but above all, an understanding of the importance of giving back to the community, and that could be local, national, or even globally. So here are the 4 departments where I mentioned earlier. So first one, applied biological and environmental sciences, and those 7,600 some odd students, they're split across these 4 departments and programs within the department. So first department, applied biological and environmental science. So our science-based programs, biotech, environmental, food science, medical lab, biomedical. We then have information, communication, and engineering technology. We have networking cluster programs within this department. We also have a software cluster, which includes health informatics, gaming, traditional software development, and artificial intelligence. We have a grad certificate in mobile applications. We also have a grad certificate in cybersecurity. I had mentioned our degree in computer and communication networking, and a newer addition to the family is our grad certificate in the Internet of Things. And you're going to hear about those grad certs in a bit. And we also have our 3rd department, advanced manufacturing and automation technology. So automation, robotics, aerospace, product design and development, our flagship mechanical engineering. And then we also have electrical program in that department as well. And then our final department, sustainable design and renewable energy. Those are, if you will, our green cluster programs, so architecture, construction management. We also have electronics, energy systems, which looks at renewable energy and traditional energy sources, heating, refrigeration, air conditioning, and that department also looks after all of the mathematic offerings across school, which are core to Eng Tech and Applied Science. So here, this gives you just a taste of our labs, because our labs are just such an important part or integral to our approach to education and learning. And most of our programs, you'll have certainly the traditional theory, but then students spend a lot of their time in our labs. And if you take a look at this slide and we start at the top right and go clockwise, you'll see that's a software lab at Progress Campus. Bottom right is a CNC lab, aerospace lab at our Downsview Aerospace campus. And then moving over, bottom left is our networking lab, or one of our networking labs at Progress. And top left would be an analytical chemistry lab at our Morningside campus. So the school has top priority in applied research and innovation. And the areas that we work in applied research with local companies across the GTA are really in aerospace, renewables, advanced manufacturing, and health. And applied research, we work with colleagues within the school, and we secure government funding, government grants, and then partner with local businesses to really look at commercializations of products and processes and help local companies remain competitive from a global perspective. And a big benefit of applied research to the school, first and foremost, it keeps our curriculum and the faculty team current because they're really at the cutting edge of research. But it also brings opportunities for students, our students, to interact with industry through applied research projects. And whenever we can do that, increase opportunities for our students to interact with employers as they move through their programs of study, it really helps them build build a business network. And often the applied research projects, when students get involved in those, it can lead to placement. And we're in the top 20 applied research and innovation colleges in Canada. And then we also we lead with the number of paid internships. So there's a number of benefits for applied research at the college, and certainly specific to SETAS. Right? So here you're looking at one of our signature events, and this is the annual Ontario Skills Competition. And the Skills Competition brings together post-secondary colleges across Ontario to compete. The students compete in timed competitions. So we think of it as it's almost the Olympics of post-secondary. And there's a number of different categories, and the students will compete. And our students, year after year, they demonstrate just their incredible skill set. You see the bottom left there. That's one of the awards. I think it was for electronics, and our students winning a gold and a bronze medal at that competition. So we're very proud of the school's performance at the annual skills competition. And we're so proud because the next slide is going to show you what all of that hard work and effort has gone into. So we'll culminate with this. And this is really showing the skills competition that based upon the number of medals and the team's competition and participation in the event, every year they award College of Distinction. And you're looking at a picture here. This is Centennial College winning for the 4th consecutive year the College of Distinction Award at the Ontario Skills. So really just highlighting what our amazing students could do under the guidance of our talented faculty and support staff, and basically allowing us, Centennial College, to come out on top of all the post-secondary colleges in Ontario at the annual skill. So that's just basically an overview, if you will, of school. It's an amazing school, very proud of it. And I'm now going to pass it over to my Professor Alan Reed, who's going to go into some details on the first of the 2 graduate certificates, the Internet of Things. So Alan, over to you, please.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Kelly. I'm here just to give you an overview of, as Patrick said, our newest grad program on the Internet of Things, and to give you a bit of an overview of the program and what makes this program special and sets it apart from some of the other programs. First question is exactly what is the Internet of Things? And the Internet of Things goes by many different definitions, depending upon where you get it from. Now, we all know what the Internet is, right? The Internet is this giant network that spans the globe and allows everybody to communicate with everyone else. But what the Internet of Things is all about is starting to bring in things that are not normally connected to the Internet into that world. Things like a refrigerator, an oven, a microwave, an automobile, right? Bringing all these other traditionally non-connected devices into the world of the Internet technology. And what that does is it allows us to start collecting information and taking control of those devices. So what you see there is one definition of what the Internet of Things is. And okay, here's another definition, right? And if you read the top on there, it says sensors and actuators embedded in physical objects. So taking something that is not traditionally connected to the Internet, embedding a sensor in there to gather information, and also usually embedding an actuator, which can then cause it to do something. Okay. Now, it's a little bit interesting because that's not all it can do, right? It's just not going to collect information and cause it to do something. Right? What is it going to do with all the information it collects? It's able to collect a phenomenal amount of information, and depending upon what you look at, you might be a technologist worried about how are these things going to talk to each other, a designer saying what can we control, what can we information can we get, or you might be on the business side saying what do we do with all the information we collect, and that is all part of the Internet of Things. Okay, so this is a definition from BI, which is business intelligence. It's around business. And you can see there what they're talking about is just saying we're worried about the data that we can collect, that we can exchange, and what can we do with that data. Now, one of the things that we have to realize is that the Internet of Things isn't that old. It's only about maybe 15 to 20 years old when they first coined the terminology. Like, you look back, say 20 years, computers were connected to the internet, and we were able to gather information from some specialized pieces of equipment, but not much else. Now, this is sort of a time chart going from 2015 up to 2025. And it's the number of devices that are connected to the Internet of Things in billions. And you can see over at the right-hand side, 23, 24, 25, that's projecting into the future. So 75 billion different devices. Here's a similar chart. And you can just see that about the middle at the bottom there, it says IoT inception. That's when the phrase was coined, the Internet of Things. And since it was coined, you can see that it's just been an explosive growth in the number of devices that have been connected to the Internet of Things, right? Now, when we look at it, the average growth rate, the CAGR, it's over a 25% annual growth rate in the number of devices connected to the Internet of Things. So this is it's a market that's exploding right now. It's just starting. It's relatively new, and it's limited only by your imagination as to what can be done in it. Here's some current stats. And you can see that I didn't go very far in the future. This is only last year and a couple of years in the future. The number of connected IoT devices in average household in the US is 22. Okay? That's per household. In 2030, they're guesstimating that there's going to be 29.4 billion different devices that are interconnected. Okay? The amount of spending, 1.6 trillion in a couple of years by 2025. Okay? The volume that it's moving, zettabytes, almost 80 zettabytes of information is going to have to move because of all these different devices. And most manufacturers, 35% of manufacturers currently use information connected by the Internet of Things in the manufacturing process in order to control things, make products better, cheaper, faster. Now, if you look at it, unfortunately, the IoT, it hasn't taken off the same in various countries. They're predicting their 3.6 network devices per person in 2023. But if you look down at the bottom there, you can see that it's 13.4 in North America. It's only 1.5 in Africa and the Middle East. So it's a very different world, depending upon where you are located. And this technology is starting to move into these markets. You know, the other interesting thing is that by 2025, 75.4 billion IoT devices will be installed around the world. And, you know, that's only 2 years coming, but if you look at what's happened over the last few years, from 2020, there's 30 billion. 2021, there's 35 billion. 2022, 42 billion. Okay. So it is moving very quickly. And we have to be able to control these devices. We have to figure, first of all, we have to figure out what these devices should be, then how to actually use these devices to collect the information we want to collect or to do what we want it to do. And then along with that, we have to store all the information. We have to process all the information. It's a very quickly growing world. Okay. Now, these are the vertical markets, just some of the vertical markets. And the vertical market is sort of an industry where IoT is applied. And, you know, healthcare is a big one. Doctors in one area are controlling surgeries in another area, or tests from one site are being sent to another site. And if you go through all these different areas, it touches everything we do every day, right? Now, here's a representation of a smart city. And in IoT, you always hear the word smart. And the word smart means it can gather information and then react to the information that it has gathered. Okay? And these are some, not all, but these are some of the environments. Right? We've got smart farms where the farmers are using information that's gathered in the field to increase the productivity of the field. We've got smart cities where they're controlling the traffic pattern. The lights change based on the volume of the traffic. We've got smart buildings where the heat can change, or the lights can change, or the window covering, the window shades change based on what's going on at that current point in time. Okay, sorry. And, you know, if you look through all these, okay, it's not me controlling it. If you look through all these, you can see that there's a huge number of different areas that the IoT is getting involved with. Now, when we look at the jobs available in the IoT world, because the IoT is so varied, there's hundreds of different jobs. There's everything from cloud engineers there to programmers, test engineers, interface designers, right? There are jobs, basically, whatever your background is, whatever your interest is, the IoT can offer you a future, because there's just so much variation, so many different things involved. Right? We have people that have to decide on the electronics, the sensors, the actuators. Then we have to say, well, how can these sensors or actuators actually be integrated into the device? How can they be designed? How can the information be gathered? How can it be processed? How can it be presented to the end user? How can you make that comparable or easy for the end user to use? Now, these are some of the big companies. And these aren't companies that use IoT. These are companies that manufacture devices that go into IoT. Like Cisco, you know, is a big networking company. IBM, right? These are huge companies that have recognized the importance of IoT, and they are starting to manufacture and design their systems in order to support the IoT. Now, companies that use IoT is everything. Whether it's the college, a college is using IoT. As I said earlier, farms are using it, cities are using it. It's being used everywhere. These are just two figures that I grabbed about the average wage in the US and in Canada. And it is an average because the positions are so varied in the IoT. So you're going to get some positions at the lower end and some at the higher end of this, but you can see that generally an IoT engineer can make a fair amount of money in everywhere in North America and around the world. That's a great little blurb about what the IoT is, but why Centennial, right? And as Patrick has already said, that we have offerings in networking, software, mobile, cybersecurity, right? These are all programs that we already offer, usually certificates or diplomas. So we have the expertise here. And what we did is we took that expertise, worked with our industry partners, and you can see the list of them at the bottom there, and said, we recognize that IoT is a very fast growing field, that it's the future. And these companies all agreed with us, and they said, okay, well, what can you do? Well, let's take our expertise in all the areas in the first bullet there and develop a program. When we developed the program, we asked ourselves, what will be, what's so special, right? We've got all this expertise, we've got this ability at Centennial, and how can we produce a program that's different than other locations and gives people what they need, what the industry needs. So we surveyed our partners. We found out what the industry was lacking. And really what the industry was lacking was somebody that understood the entire ecosystem. And the ecosystem are all the different bits and pieces that go into building a solution, right? There are some locations that offer software, but they're missing, say, the electronics, the sensors and actuators. There's other places that might offer the networking, but they're missing the software component. What we tried to do with our partners is to develop a program that looks at all the different areas that are involved in IoT, everything that is required so you can hit the ground running, and try to design a program that can offer you all these, they're called PVLOs, right? Program Vocational Learning Outcomes. But this is our promise to you, that once you go through the program, you'll be able to do all this stuff. Okay? So you can see there's implement, there's evaluate there, and enhance. So taking a person, explaining to them what the Internet of Things is all about, what it can do, and then how to deploy it in whatever area they decide to work in. Okay? Here's where we start talking about the IoT ecosystem and what the IoT platform actually does, what it can support. So we've got devices on the left-hand side there, but what are those devices? As I said earlier, that devices are things, right? That's where it gets its name. It can be something that is not traditionally connected to the network, okay? That we've embedded sensors and actuators into it, okay? So we've given it the ability to collect and respond to information. And then on the other side, what do we do with the information that we collect? Okay, well, we have to store it. We have to visualize things like augmented reality, virtual reality, manufacturing processes. All that comes into play. And the IoT platform is in the middle. But the IoT platform has to be set up so that it can be used and that it will produce what we want it to produce. So here's this ecosystem. And I just bring this into play, not so much for the definition, but this is what sets Centennial apart, that we look at all parts of the IoT ecosystem and we try to provide the knowledge and the skills so that a student would understand all the different parts of the ecosystem and understand the solution. Right? Solutions are there to solve problems, but we need the entire IoT ecosystem to produce that solution to solve the problem. So people may not be an expert in all different areas, but they will know a little bit about everything by the time they get through our program. And IoT solutions are usually developed with a group of people. So you might have a person who's very good with electronics, sensors and actuators. You might have another person that's very good in networking. So they're there for the cloud. You might have another person who is good with the analytics portion or the interface, right? The user interface. And as I say, that's what it's all about. Finally, I get into our program and what our program tries to do. First of all, we have a program that's only 1 year, 1 calendar year, 3 semesters. And that sort of makes us a bit unique right there, that we've crowded these 3 semesters into 1 calendar year. So it's a very quick program to get through. And we split it up so that semester 1 provides the background, provides the basics. What does everybody need in order to be able to work in this field? So obviously an introduction, provide the electronics, because electronics, sensors and actuators need to understand, at least at the rudimentary level, how a sensor works, how an actuator works. Then an introduction to programming, because programming is super important. And as we move on in the program, we'll get into artificial intelligence and various other parts of programming. And then we look at the infrastructure, all the bits and pieces that create that ecosystem, and spend a bit of time discussing the cloud. Okay? So semester 1 lays the groundwork for the different areas. And what we do is we have the expertise at the school, at the college, and we've taken the expertise from the various programs and we've assembled these courses. But here's semester 2. And semester 2, we have decided that person who's gone through semester 1, they have the basics of IoT. And with the basics of IoT, there's something you can build on. You understand what IoT can do and how it can do it and the bits and pieces and that. But now we're going to give you more information. So we step up the program. We go into the advanced IoT programming. Then we bring in artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence is really what the IoT is good at doing, right? Because artificial intelligence requires a collection of huge amounts of data and then making a decision based on that data. Okay? And when I say it's collecting huge amounts of data in IoT, that's big data. Okay, so all of a sudden we've got this phenomenal amount of data, and we have to treat it differently than conventional data. We have to store it, we have to transport it, we have to secure it, okay? And that's all takes on a different world. Now, something that it is a course here, 724 IoT security, is we pull it out as a standalone course, but it really has to be considered in all of our courses. That we're creating all these devices that can talk to the internet, can communicate with one another, and we need to know where the security problems are and how we can secure it. So do we do cover it in all courses, but at least here we pull it out. Okay. Now, we also have this capstone project. The capstone project is designed to give people some real world experience in IoT in whichever area you decide you're interested. Okay? And this first capstone project course is the planning course, trying to figure out who you're going to work with and how you're going to work with them. Right? We have the company that are our partners, companies like Cisco, the City of Toronto, and that, and they might have a project. And this first course is how are we going to work with that company? What do we need to do? What skills do we need? So we give some project management in that course, plus we let you form the relationships with the company, get used to what their project is. Here's semester 3. And semester 3 is, now that you've got the basics in semester 1, you've got some of the advanced concepts in semester 2. Semester 3, you're doing 2 things in this semester. One is you're working on the capstone project part 2. And this is where you're going to be working with an industry partner. You're going to be working on a project that you've agreed with the industry partner. Okay. And then you're also going to be spending time in the classroom. And you're spending time to pick up these things like, how are you going to apply artificial intelligence in the IoT? How are you actually going to integrate all these bits and pieces together now into a system? Okay. How are you going to connect them? What other things have to come up? So we have all these various areas. And as I said, project 2 is really where you produce a product. It's not so much the plan. The planning is done in project 1, capstone project 1. Project 2 is you're actually implementing the project.
Thank you, Alan. I just wanted to share where students can find information about the available intakes, number of semesters, as well as the admissions requirements and technology requirements for the Internet of Things program. You can find all this information on the online program outline for both Internet of Things and mobile applications development. So you can see this is the information available at the top of the program outline, as well as the admissions requirements tab will show the academic requirements for admission to the Internet of Things program. You can see the academic requirements are completion of diploma, advanced diploma, or degree. So the fields that are accepted include software engineering, technician and technology programs, network engineering, degree, technology and technician programs, electronics engineering, computer systems, computer science, and computer engineering. Now, time for our next program presentation on mobile applications development.
Everyone, thank you for attending this information session. I am Vinay Vaitring. I'm here to present this mobile application development program. So this is a 2-semester program we are offering in every fall. And also you can finish this program within 2 years' time. as a 2-semester program. So here, the 2-semester program includes primarily in the capstone course as well, another 9 different courses I will go through later. And we offer this course in a nice lab and all, especially when we talk about the programming outcome for this course, focus on different aspects, especially to make sure that all the courses are giving opportunity to practice, especially design and develop your mobile related or mobile applications. So if you see those learning outcomes, especially we call VLOs, so it's a vocational learning outcomes, which will cover all the courses we are offering under this program. Especially as I mentioned earlier, it's a hands-on courses. So you could simply see all these learning outcome, or most of them really related to develop, design, and test. So that is the main focus on this program, to make the student to practice in our lab, as well as based on our assessment and all, to get ready for the real world job. And also, when you see all these learning outcomes give you different type of skill, we have especially we call it a course learning outcome, is a CLOs is a one of the skill, especially we tested in every program as a technical skill. And also we incorporated other 2 major skill to make our student ready for the real world situation. Especially we call it a EES, is employment essential skill. Other one is global citizenship. So those 2 skill also incorporated in all our programs. You could see when you enroll this course, and when you get your course outline, you could see those information in detail. And also here, another important thing. So this program learning outcome will give you the opportunity to implement different type of teaching and learning. So I can guarantee here we are offering 3 type of teaching and learning. The first type is project-based teaching. So the project-based teaching is really excellent way we incorporated with all the courses. So when you enroll any course, as usual, you have attending lectures and lab, plus those exercises, assessment based on project-based. We incorporate with our projects. So you have more opportunity to practice over and over, to understand the principles, and also the labs to implement the project-based level. And also we implement active learning here to make the participant feel much more comfortable to understand some complicated concept, and also some complex scenarios. So we provide problem solving scenarios, especially through our assessment. So that will definitely give the opportunity to do the is implement in your active based learning. The final one, or the last way we are deliver this course using experiential learning. So that's really, of course, the capstone project. I will talk about a little later about the capstone project things. Okay, so the next thing is the admission requirement. This is a graduate certificate program. So of course you should have at least a diploma or degree. But not all the diploma and degrees accepted here. So you must have definitely, your stream should be computer science or related to computers. And for example, computer programming, or anything related to computer programming like software engineering, or it could be something information technology, or something related, So the major courses we are expecting here. So when we provide the admission for this program, so we really focus on the student transcript, especially you guys already completed at least some programming, C++, Java, or C, or Pascal, something like whatever, you know, in the university level or the diploma level, you guys completed some of the programming courses. Definitely, that is a major recommend to come, you know, enroll this course. Plus your skill and understanding about database or some other IT related, you know, concept, especially any idea about your computer architecture, and also a little bit idea about the networking. So those are some other area of, you know, area you should have completed in your degree. Then definitely you are eligible for this course. But if you ask me, can I complete some business degree or something? You may, but that's what I told you. We have to go through your transcript. Sometimes some business information management or business IT kind of program definitely may have, or I don't know, sometimes it's related to some IT courses. You completed one or two programming concept. Definitely, we will carefully go through your transcript, then we will decide you are eligible or not. Then the language one, you can see technical requirements is really mandatory to enroll this course because this is completely hands-on program. So having your own Mac Pro really appreciated, and also we are running this Bring ID, you know, programs, especially we already implemented that Bring ID. So you guys make sure that when you enroll this course, you have your Mac Pro with you. Of course, you can go with some, you know, discount purchase and all when you come back to Canada. But still, okay, you make sure that this is kind of basic recommend. Your processor capacity, RAM capacity, and all should be at least up to the end to perform your practical things and all. So yeah, make sure that you have the right technical requirements. Then the same time, it's another important thing in this program. So we encourage the student, or we say that students should bring their Mac or their own laptop, but still we have our nice lab, okay? So this is one of our Samsung equipped lab. With 40 computers with 2 operating systems is simultaneously work. Like you can easily switch to Windows to Mac and all. So that's another important, you know, features for this program. So you can simply come to our lab. So you want to work with Mac. So of course you can switch to Mac operating system, and you can find all the softwares related to Mac, especially Swift, Xcode and all. Or else you are going to practice sometime other programming, like especially Android Studio or something. So you have opportunity, you can either work in your Windows-based system or else in your Mac, okay? So yeah, of course, that those are the two, you know, two ways, like, okay, you can simply switch to your lab machines, and also especially when we do our lab practicals, the main concern is how we are going to test those applications, especially when we do our native or React Native based app development. So the first thing, okay, you can use the simulator or emulator to do that. Sometimes it's not enough to really understand how exactly the screen resolutions and, you know, the app look and feel. You want to really confirm those. Definitely connected device is one of the best way to test your applications. So that's the reason we are offering some of the devices, especially when you practice iOS-based code like Swift or the Xcode based, you know, development. Definitely, we will offer iPads to iPhone. We have brand new iPads and all in our lab, so you can use those to test and make sure that's how is your app screen resolutions and other stuff, how it's look like. The same time, when you practice Android, also we are offering some Samsung phone. So you have your own phone, you can do the testing. Someone you feel, okay, you own only the Android, but how do I practice iPad or some iPhone? If you don't know, if you don't have, definitely we will offer in our lab to make sure that you have the real practical experience based on devices. So it's a very well-equipped lab. So now it's named as A317, but we moved to the new building in the fall, okay, fall 2023. So that time the lab name going to be A368. So that's what I mentioned, A368, but currently the lab name is A317. It's one of the dedicated lab for our mobile app development. And when we talk about the curriculum, as I told you, the curriculum really focuses on different type of teaching and learning. As I mentioned earlier, the active learning, experiential learning, as well as a project-based. So based on those different type of learnings to encourage the student to make more engagement in this program. So we put our curriculum also is a very updated curriculum. So every semester, we go through the curriculum based on the market trend as well as the market needs. So we revise our curriculum, especially the native app development as well as React Native development. Okay, so those are the two major app development we implemented in our program. So especially when we talk about those two kind of, one of the major, course we are offering is Android based, is the Samsung Android app development. Other one is iOS based course. So the both courses really related to different area of examples. Especially we practice a lot of lab exercises based on different kind of businesses, or sometimes social networks, like, okay, something related to your Twitters, something similar, how you can develop similar apps and all. Of course, Internet of Things as well, that's a kind of emerging. And also now we have another graduate certificate for Internet of Things. So based on those, implementations, so we try to identify what are the APIs, special API available under Google API, especially machine learning API is one of the nice API you can incorporate with your mobile app development to bring the AI features. So something like we go with those latest API implementation in each and every courses. Further, it's not limited to, we talk about the healthcare sector or the game development. Is not the area is limited, okay? So we encourage our students to explore different area via this, okay, mobile app really important, and how this mobile app improve their businesses or improve their services. So based on that, when you do your capstone project, you have the opportunity to bring your own ideas to test in the capstone project. At the same time, we have some partners, and also we look for some different businesses if they have, especially community-based. We really use this program to work with our local communities and all. Last semester, one of the capstone team, our student team, developed one mobile app for one of the community. So something like, we look for different opportunities, different ways to incorporate in our curriculum. So that definitely give you the good exposure to understand this app development, and also make sure that you are getting the real world experience. Yeah, and also here, it's two major, platform development. One is Android, other one is iOS. It's not limited to that. Plus, we are offering other way of developing a mobile app, especially how this mobile app, develop web friendly, or the mobile web friendly. Okay, because when you develop Android or iOS, it's straight away go to the Google Play Store or else in the Apple Store. But suppose you want to develop one single app to, to share with both devices. Then of course we go with some React Native other way of web friendly mobile apps and all. So of course our curriculum include those as well. I will show you later what are the courses really associated with those React Native and the mobile web development. Further, so this mobile area is not really constant, okay, because every year, even every month, the requirements, the specifications are keep on changing, especially if you see the IDE we use like Android Studio or the Xcode and all. Every 3 months, they are releasing different versions with the different API support and also different, packages and all. So in such situation, of course, we should really identify what are the supporting emerging technologies to work with, especially when we talk about the emerging technology course, what we are offering now. Every semester we are upgrading, especially now we incorporated some AI element in our emerging technologies, some machine learning API in our emerging technologies, because that is one of the special course we are having. So every semester we revise, then we really look into the market, what exactly happening, what are the new tools come and play in the mobile development sector. So based on that, we will pick them and put in our curriculum and give you the good exposure to you guys to understand the latest mobile app development. So these are the courses we are offering in 2 semesters. As I told you, like, okay, semester 1, usually we start in fall. So yeah, we have, I think, only 1 intake every year. So maybe we will think about in future another intake in winter as well. But yeah, based on the, what we are offering at this point, every fall, we start our first semester with 5 courses. That's the fall intake. Then the second semester will be in the winter. So we then use the 2 semesters, fall and winter. Then the summer, definitely you qualified as a graduate, for this program. So these all nicely, designed 5 different courses. So one is Samsung Android app development. We keep that name in our course as well because our lab is powered by Samsung, and also we use some Samsung API, like, to device level API to incorporate in our curriculum, especially the Samsung Android app development completely based on Kotlin. We offered in Java, so last semester we switched to Kotlin because now Kotlin is the leading software the programming language to develop the Android app development. So that's the reason we used Kotlin. Even the second semester also we have the advanced version of this one. So the advanced Samsung Android development. So both the courses with the Kotlin, mainly based on Kotlin, and cover all the aspect of Android app development. That's a native development. The second course and the third course are related to mobile web development to understand how you can create mobile web-friendly mobile applications, especially using JavaScript and also Flutter. Then some backend, technologies like, for example, how do you incorporate your mobile app with a REST API, and some database like, it's a relational database like RDBMS based like MySQL, or the NoSQL database MongoDB. Like, so many tools and technology we put in a different courses, especially the enterprise technology for mobile platform is one of the nice course to, implement the enterprise level mobile app development. It's more web related component. Of course, this is you can bring in your mobile as well. But idea behind this, we use a lot of enterprise level, tools, especially as I mentioned, REST API, those kind of things. Then the iOS development, again, native. we have two versions, like, okay, the first semester, we have the beginner level. And also, if you notice, I forgot to tell you, like our course organized, okay, the first semester for beginners as well as we start with the beginner level to intermediate level. Then the second level or the second semester, you are starting with the intermediate level to advanced level. That's the way it's organized, this course. So you don't feel much difficult to, start all these courses, even though you don't never learn or you never heard about or you never know anything about Kotlin or you don't know anything about Swift. It doesn't matter. It's still okay. So you are the right person to start this course. But of course, you should have some basic other programming skill, like for example, with C++ or Java, you know how to code your, software, especially with all the programming principle, like how to work with the for loop, while loops, and what is the meaning of collections. So, what is the meaning of data structure. If you have those for programming fundamentals, is more than enough. You can easily learn all the new tools and technology, especially new programming things we are using here. So iOS development, again, like, okay, intermediate up to intermediate level, you learn in your first semester in Xcode with the Swift language. Later, this course is advanced iOS development, of course, you are doing the semester one. And also here is that those courses are really connected each other. Suppose if you don't complete this 711, you are not eligible to enroll 721. So we should be very careful sometimes. Okay, so successfully finishing some of the courses, all these, okay, first semester 5 courses mandatory to start, okay, the second semester courses. And also the mobile application development project is completely depend on all these 5 courses. So make sure that, so we clearly understand and practice all these, courses in the first level, first semester. Then the second semester, we choose one of our favorite area. For example, I want to develop my capstone project based on iOS. Then of course I can choose iOS based tools and technology. Then I can develop my capstone project. So the opportunities comes to you guys. You can decide which way you are going to, utilize that capstone project course to get more idea about and more practice about your program. Further, we offer the academic progress advisors as well as the college support. Especially these all you can get from our department level. So you can approach the program coordinator. For example, you have any curriculum-based or any course-related questions in your classroom. You can talk to your professor. Sometime, okay, you want to get more idea about, okay, more detail about, okay, especially to work with your capstone project and all. You can talk to the program coordinator support. At the same time, any other regular issues you have, you want to switch to some courses, or sometimes you want some success advice in the student level. You can support any advising support. We have success advisors, and also here we have some specific dates. Suppose you feel like, okay, you want to switch to different course, or you want to get some time credit for your course. Suppose in your bachelor degree or in your previous program, you completed some similar course. For example, you completed already Android app development with a 3 credit or 4 credit. Maybe you can get some credit here, like some exemption. So in that case, we call pillar. So you have to approach the advisor. Then maybe we have one assessment instead of doing the complete course, complete semester. We will assess yourself with the interview process or some assessment or some exams or some practical hands-on approach. Then you could really continue other courses, then you can simply get exemption for the particular course. That also available here. That's called pillar, and also you can see simply, work with you're adding courses and all. Further, the online support. So the online support is based on the resources that I'm talking about. So I can show you those resources here. We highly recommend these online resources as a OER, online educational resources, that nicely incorporated in our library. And also this is one of the publishing company. Once you got your student ID, our My Centennial access, you can simply get these textbooks access. So I cannot say every textbooks, but most of the textbooks. But the better thing is whatever we listed in our course, all of the textbooks are available as a free. So it's your decision. You want to have it some hard copy based version, you want to buy, purchase it, is up to you. But we encourage you don't need to really buy any hard copies because it's more easy to use the online versions. So online versions are free as a student. Okay, so this is one of the textbooks we are using for the Android app development, Samsung Android app development. So this is one of our textbooks, is available online. Okay, so you just use your Centennial credential, your username and password, then definitely go to the library, online library, then you can get this page and you can read your materials and all. And also we have bookstore. If you are interested, you can purchase some of your books here. Yeah, so we will make it available, all the books needed for this course. And also the software availability. So the software availability, whatever software we used, is everything available in our lab. At the same time, when you bring your own device, you can download the software. So the software, everything is free. You don't need to purchase anything. But sometimes some cloud-based software and all, there are some restrictions that you can get to know how you can utilize as a student level. For example, using some Google Cloud storage or Google Firebase, those things. So definitely our professors will guide you. Still, you can enjoy, you can use those cloud services as a free. Okay, so you don't need to pay for it, anything. And also our academic teams are really, industry, most of them, a lot of people like industry background, even though they are working as academic full-time people, they involve a lot of industry-based project. And also we have part-time faculties from currently working in a different industry, like our financial industry, like banks, and also companies like IBM or Google, like different companies. So they are working and doing the part-time position here to enhance your, provide the skills and all. Then, as I mentioned earlier, our curriculum development based on PAC support, because when we decide to update our curriculum, we want to make sure that our curriculum updates really meet the industry, industry requirement. So how do I get those information? So we have 2 meetings every year with our PAC committee, like program advisory committee. We have 10 to 15 members, everyone from different industry, and also in a higher position. They know what exactly going on in the industry, especially most of them are decision makers. So based on that, we identify those needs and we really implement in our curriculum every semester. And once you join in our program, so these all based on our department level and also the college level opportunities, especially the peer tutors is a college, our department level. So even you start your semester, you have, based on your skills and all, you can get to know your, skill, and also you find some job, especially as a peer tutor, or else as a WIM tag is one of the applied research division of Centennial College. They are offering student development jobs, especially mobile app development. So we are having every term at least 5 to 10 projects going on in WIMTech. So for those projects, they are hiring from our program student, especially mobile app development, and also we are running advanced diploma, especially in AI, health informatics, gaming, and all. So every student having opportunity to involve those student developer job is a paid one. And also when you see the job market, this is outside the college. So once you graduated, what exactly you are going to do? So you have 3 major opportunities, especially when you complete this course. You are eligible to become mobile app developer for iOS, Android, or any mobile related development. Plus, of course, this course help you to become a full stack developer too, because as I told you, the REST backend there, and you are using React, those kind of, JavaScript and all. So definitely you have opportunity to, get into the full stack development as well, and also related other jobs. So it's still based on the study 2023. So they say until 2028, the computer programmers are the really leading job, or the need is really high, like, okay, 64,200 new jobs available, okay? So definitely once you finish your course, you have opportunity. Even I see from my LinkedIn, whoever completed our past, mobile development certificate program, they are in a very good position, especially like as you see here, they are working for our Royal Bank of Canada, RBC, or like, Bell Canada, and even someone in government like Service Ontario, like different, industry. They already got job. That prove this program is okay, doing lots in our community. And also it's really, this program really give the exact skill what they need in the industry level, okay? Yeah, so.
Thank you, Professor, for introducing Mobile Applications Development Program, letting us know all about the academic program, also how it can build upon the knowledge that students may already have from their undergraduate degree or diploma. So it's my pleasure to introduce a student representative from the Mobile Applications Development Program to share a little bit about the student experience.
Hello, everyone. My name is Khawajatullah Hasib. I am currently in my last semester of Mobile Application Development Program. I would like to talk a little bit about my experience in Canada, why I selected Canada. Some of the benefits for studying in Canada includes high quality education, multicultural environment, affordable tuition fee, and a welcoming environment as well. Moreover, Toronto is one of the hubs for mobile app development. The city has a thriving technology sector with numerous software development companies, startups, and tech incubators. If we talk about the importance of mobile applications, well, mobile apps have become an integral part of modern life, with billions of people around the world using them daily. Some of the key reasons why mobile applications are important: they are convenient, accessibility, personalization, efficiency, revenue generation, innovation, etc. Now I would like to share my experience as a student at Centennial College, mobile application program. Our labs were well equipped with computers and all modern technology to learn. I could remember that once our professor offered us Android phones that we used to test our applications that we build in class. It was a really great experience. Currently, I am studying a course named as Advanced iOS Development, where I am being taught how I can integrate artificial intelligence within iOS applications. Basically, we are making our applications more smarter by using machine learning and AI. There is also one another course named as Emerging Technologies, where we are being taught about augmented reality, virtual reality, chatbots, and we are also learning how we can integrate these wonderful technologies in our mobile apps. I would also like to talk about my capstone project. So we are in total of, we have 5 group members who are working on capstone project. Our application name is Grocery Shopping App. Grocery shopping app is really popular nowadays because everyone wants to do grocery by sitting at their comfort of home. To develop this application, we are using hybrid technology, which is Flutter, and the language is Dart. And the other tools that we are using in the software development process is Jira. We are using MongoDB database, and the IDE, we are using Visual Studio Code. It's a really great experience. It is full of learning. There are a lot of interactive exercises which help me a lot on working assignments and projects, and as well as prepare for presentations. And at the end, I would like to talk about the opportunities after doing this 8-month certificate. Well, there are a lot of opportunities after this certificate. One is that you can become a developer at a tech company. It is not only limited to becoming a developer, but you can also start your own company with a group of people, maybe with which you are studying. You can also become an entrepreneur. You can start a startup. It's all up to you what your interest is. And this is all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your program experience. Really interesting. I'd love to hear all of those applied hands-on learning experiences. Centennial is rated #1 in Canada and #4 globally for employability in the International Student Barometer ISB survey conducted by iGraduate. And I think the student experiences shared explain how students are preparing for employability after graduation. So at this time, we're going to go through some of the questions that have been answered throughout the chat. And if you have some more, please let us know. We'd love to hear from you. So I'm going to start with English proficiency requirements. In order to meet the language proficiency requirements, applicants can demonstrate English proficiency through previous education, through English upgrading. For example, Centennial has an English language learning program, through demonstration of English proficiency through Centennial's own English assessment test, and also, of course, through recognized English proficiency tests. There are many ways to meet the English requirements for your program, but you should keep in mind that there may be additional requirements for your study permit application. So if you do meet the admission requirements, for example, through previous education, depending on your country of residence and where you're applying for visa, you may still be required to take one of the standardized English proficiency tests. Your admissions team is an expert on assisting students from your country, and we'll be happy to guide you throughout your admissions process on what you can expect for your admissions requirements for your country specifically, and also throughout your application enrollment process. On our website, you can see the English requirements, and we'll share a link in the chat. You can see, for example, for IELTS academic, we require a 6.5 with no bands below 6.0 for graduate certificate programs. You can see some of the other categories here through previous education. So students can meet the English requirements for their program through 2 or more consecutive full years at a recognized secondary or post-secondary institution in a school where English is the primary method of instruction. And this as well can be different depending on your country of residence if an English proficiency test is required for your study permit. Also, English upgrading. I mentioned our English language learning program. If a student completes the 15-week semester of level 5 with a final grade of A or 80%, they will have met the English requirements for our graduate certificate programs. Our ELL program offers an intake every 3 weeks. So if you do want to join the IoT program or mobile applications development program in fall, but you don't meet the admission requirements yet, you could consider English language learning as a pathway to a graduate certificate program. I want to talk a little bit about the tuition. So the tuition is about $9,180 per semester for mobile applications development, and the program is 2 semesters. So you can see the total there is about $18,359, and that tuition would be due on a semesterly basis, so not all at once. The Internet of Things program is about the same. The tuition currently is approximately $9,015 per semester. So that program is 3 semesters. So the total cost then would be about 27,000 Canadian dollars. And you can see if you are interested in the pathway through ELL, you can see that 1 semester is about 5,200. So we have some questions about working in Canada, and this is a very popular topic for many international students who are driven to study in Canada for the primary motivating factor of job opportunities. And we've shared a lot about the skills gaps, the available jobs, and the growing job markets, in particular within the information technology sector, IoT and mobile applications development. So if you are accepted to Centennial, you are able to obtain a study permit from Immigration, Refugee, and Citizenship Canada. Your study permit is a work permit. So that means you can work 20 hours per week during your study and full-time during scheduled breaks. So there's no need to apply for a separate work permit to work on or off campus. Okay, so let's talk about the post-graduation work permit. So if you study a 1-year program, you'll be eligible to apply for a 1-year post-graduation work permit. And this is an open work permit. You can work in any field in any Canadian province. If you study a 2-year program, you'll be eligible to apply for a 2 to 3 year post-graduation work permit. Now, 3 years is the maximum length of a post-graduation work permit. So whether you study 2 years at Centennial College or consider a degree for 4 years or more at a university, you'll still be eligible to apply for that maximum 3-year post-graduation work permit. So this is an advantage of the Canadian college programs, which are shorter, affordable, and offer lots of hands-on work experience with industry partners. So if you want to study 2 1-year graduate certificate programs. You can study them back to back. You can even apply for a dual offer letter at Centennial. If you do study 2 one-year graduate certificate programs, you'll be eligible to apply for up to 3-year post-graduation work permit. So for example, students may decide to combine the Internet of Things and cybersecurity. At the end of studying those 2 one-year programs, you'll be eligible to apply for that 3-year post-graduation work permit. So I want to just discuss a little bit about the support. Get ready to feel supported. From tutoring to career services to cooperative education, Centennial has the tools that you need to succeed. Unique offerings at Centennial include Centennial Leadership Academy, Global Citizenship and Equity Curriculum, which has been incorporated into over 90% of the programs at Centennial. You can just understand that Centennial is going beyond the technical skills for your program to support the art of living a fulfilling and successful and happy life. Also, there's plenty of opportunities to get involved as a student at Centennial. Joining a sports team is a great way to get involved. Each of our campuses have services that will provide the support, keep you engaged, expand your learning, and help you get ready for life after graduation. So this is just some of the sports teams that we have offered at Centennial and varsity, extramural, and intramural. If you are interested to stay at our residence, it's located at Progress Campus, with both of these programs are offered at Progress Campus as well. Here's a photo, get a glimpse of our student residence. And I just want to invite you all to follow us on social media. Please connect with us. We would like to continue the conversation with you. And also, please connect with your international admissions assistant. We'll share a link in the chat, and you have a designated admissions assistant for your region that will be happy to assist throughout your application process every step of the way. Let's check the chat to see if we have any new questions. So some questions about internships. These programs don't include internships, however, they do include the capstone project. So at Centennial, we have a number of different work integrated learning opportunities. So an internship is considered work integrated learning. Co-op is considered work integrated learning, as well as a capstone project is considered work integrated learning, as you will be getting an opportunity to test out the knowledge that you've gained in the academic setting through hands-on applied learning and having some connection with industry as well. So I can see so many of these questions have been answered by our amazing team here in the chat. So I think this is bringing us to the conclusion of the webinar. Now, Dr. Patrick Kelly, if you'd like to say some closing words.
Yeah, thank you very much, Greg. And once again, I really want to thank everyone and commend everyone for attending this information session. It speaks highly of your commitment to your post-secondary studies and finding a home that fits for you, a program and an institution. Certainly I'm somewhat biased in that I've been at Centennial for 23 years now, but I'm proud of certainly our programs, the industry relevancy of the programs, and both my colleagues, Alan and Vinay, talked about the work we do with industry to ensure that all of our programs maintain a high degree of industry relevance, which translates into jobs. So I thank everyone for the opportunity for us to highlight some of our programs here, and wish everyone all the best. And thank you, Greg, for organizing.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great day, good evening, or good night, depending on where you joined us from. Hope to hear from you soon and look forward to following up on your applications.